Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Yusef 2 times. I'm just hitting y'all up with a little information I got online. You know what I'm saying? I was scrolling through the internet and I seen some craziness. I think I was looking at Forgotten Kings. Shout out to Forgotten Kings on YouTube. But I saw like an interview with DJ Academics. You probably know who DJ Academics is. Young dude do interviews and stuff like that and commentary on hip hop. He had made himself real famous by talking about stuff that go on in Chicago, which is where I'm from. As you can see, shirt, my brand. Anyway, he said, and you can get these shirts at iloveshy.com. So anyway, he said, and definitely like and subscribe, because this is my first good video for y'all, but we're going to be pushing a lot more. So anyway, he said that old school rappers are dusty. So for instance, if you was a rapper from the 80s and the 90s and you didn't make a lot of millions of dollars, so obviously it's hard to make millions of dollars at that time because they had predatory contracts. But if you didn't make the $1 million, he is representing youngsters in a mindset of thinking that you a dusty individual, you whack, you ain't on shit, you didn't succeed. And, you know, if you live life long enough, you know that that's not true, because sometimes when you're pioneering things, you're starting something that don't exist before you. So some people might become extremely rich at that. You know, for instance, Mark Zuckerberg, you know, or is that his name? Who owns Facebook? He started the digital platform world where you can connect everybody and friends and all that shit. It was already going on with MySpace. But when he started, went to the $1 billion level. So does that mean MySpace and other app platforms that came before him wasn't good, didn't succeed? Not necessarily. They actually were platforms for him to build off of. He said, okay, if this exists, then I can go and do this with mine. So that's the same thing happened with hip hop. You know, it started off as DJs in the park, and it started off with a microphone with a person's, you know, leading a conversation, leading the parties. And then it turned into the DJ became second, and he wasn't first no more. And then it became the microphone holder, MC, the microphone controller. And that is just the way rap was. And the way rap was at that time, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, then it flipped. They had the internet come around. So now a rapper is not necessarily, or even any entertainer, is not necessarily hidden or away from the public. It's like you can point them out, touch them. There he is right there. That shit is right there. So follow him online, communicate with him, all that shit. And so that's what make it a little weird when somebody comes and say, oh, they dusty. Because at that time, who knew what would be? Like, that's almost like saying this city in Chicago was started by a person called Jean Paul Baptiste du Sable. So it's a black dude, and this is in the 1800s. So he saw this area and he started selling furs. That's what it was. At that time, he was selling furs. So he sold furs, which was enough money for him to build homes in the area. And then other people came and built around him, and this became Chicago. So does that mean he was dusty because he didn't have the high-rise downtown, what's it called, Sears Tower or Willis Tower? Does that mean he's dusty because he didn't own the John Hancock building, or he didn't have the John Hancock building built? No, he's always going to be a pioneer because he started Chicago. If he didn't start Chicago, it wouldn't even be a building area for them to go build none of that shit. So that's just a warped mentality. It's like backwards. It's like not, and it's only like that because a lot of times they teach in our culture the Willie Lynch syndrome. So it's like the young got to be against the old, the light got to be against the dark, the long hair got to be against short hair, light skin got to be against dark skin. This is a mentality that has been trained into our culture since the beginning of time. This is like what it is as a black person. If you're not a black person, you wouldn't experience this. So it's like, what the fuck you talking about? But this is what it is. So you could be around somebody who is just opposite of you or younger than you or whatever. And instead of it being a love relationship or a cool relationship, it'll turn into a vitriolic relationship. That's what it is in the black culture. And it just really comes from being captured and held against your will and all this shit and having to ask white dominant people to do things in America, namely make money. So that's where somebody like from that mindset as DJ Academics, he cherishes money. Money is the ultimate of everything for him. So if you don't have that, or if you haven't achieved that, then he looked down on you. But I don't even see why something like that matter, because he's one individual and he don't have no impact on my life. And I don't give a fuck about what he said or what his mindset is or even people who he influenced. That's irrelevant to me, because if I'm a creator of music, if I like music, if I do what I do, Why would I have to hang out with somebody like DJ Academics? Why would I want to be in his neighborhood or be at his car or his party? Like, I'm the fucking man. I'm the guy. I'm the person that's important. Who is this person? I don't give a shit about that guy. I heard about him. I know about his work and all that stuff, but he's not interesting enough for me to be somebody that's like caring about his message or what he says or whatever. He has an opinion. He's entitled to that, but it's not going to shape my life or shape my mindset. It's just that guy's opinion. You know what I'm saying? I actually grew up in that time frame. So I saw rap music early on. I experienced rap music in the beginning of its time, its infancy. So I know what it's like to be a rap fan, what it's like to love rap, what it's like to want rap to be your career and travel all through the years. Somebody like DJ Academics doesn't have a mixtape, doesn't have a rap album. So you can almost say that he never really wanted to be a rapper. And then uh, by his own admittance, he's come from Jamaica. He said he grew up there till he was like 14 or 12 or 14. So that's a person who didn't probably experience hip hop the way I did in the 80s and 70s or 90s. Whatever time he came to America, whatever artist was around at that time, that was probably the first time he experienced rap in America. He probably experienced rap before he came to America, but when he was in America, he probably experienced it at whatever age he was, at 14, 15, 12, whatever time he got here, whatever artist was a big time artist at that time was his first probably experience of art. And that probably person at that time, with what year he came in here, probably was rich. That artist who he liked, whoever it was probably financially straight. So that's where his mindset started from. So for instance, if I was a young person and 50 Cent was the first rapper who I really experienced, like I saw his trajectory, then I could be like, yo, I know what rap is off of the experience of what 50 Cent did. And that's where I'm going to level my understanding from, what 50 Cent did as a rapper, because he's the first person I really paid attention to. So other people about that come after him, I'm gonna leverage myself, leverage them with him. Is he as good as 50? Did he get as rich as 50 Cent? Or is he dope as 50 Cent lyrically? So that's just how it goes. It's not a bad thing. It's just comparison, contrasting. But if you start thinking that the people who before 50 Cent wasn't shit, and before 50 Cent came, no other person rapped, or before 50 Cent started rapping, no other rapper was dope, that might be a little bit of warped mentality, because it can't be true. I mean, 50 Cent had to be influenced by somebody himself. That don't mean he ain't the best ever. That don't mean he can't be the best ever for you. But he still was probably influenced by somebody else that gave him maybe an inflection, or maybe say the word like this, or maybe, demeanor. I should project myself like this. We always coming from somebody else. We're always watching something before we put ourselves out there. It helps you build confidence in order to see who you are, because we're watching other humans. But to think that somebody is less than, that's a little warped mentality. So I ain't gonna diss the young guy, because as life progressed, he'll have those experiences and he'll see things and understand things a lot different. When you're young like that, you probably ain't gonna see it. And if you yell at him, you stupid ass bitch ass nigga, he ain't finna capture the knowledge like that. So it's like experience gonna kick in and it'll show you, okay, yo, you know what? This is how this is. You know what they did separate us? Oh, they was doing predatory contracts on people and making them sign it to get out the hood. And then you know what? These contracts last 30 years. And so now they just not getting their stuff back. But the song has been out of rotation for 27 years. Like, how the fuck they gonna even make money from it now? It's called predatory contracts. They was doing this to you back at that day. Might not be like that today. And then in the future from now, the people who do the contracts today, who are getting contracts today, it's going to be somebody in 2033 going to be like, why would you sign something like that? Because things are going to change. Now, should he be saying, y'all was dumb, y'all was losers, because all you did is make $8 million off that song. I made $804 million. Y'all actually stupid. Is that going to be accurate, or is it going to be a little warped mentality because maybe he made so much money and he don't really understand how life go? So it's crazy to diss the people behind you, became before you. That's just not even logical. However, it's your thoughts, it's your mentality. You do the fuck you want to do. You live in this life. You only got one to live. This your boy Hood. I'm your homie. You Saf 2 times. I rap. I do my music. I do my films. This is what I do, man. Appreciate y'all for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm going to hit y'all with another video very, very soon on a subject that I think you will want to hear about. I'll holler at y'all later.